Coming off the heels of the documentary Surviving R. Kelly, there are so many unanswered questions about R. Kelly, his camp, the victims, and his wife, Andrea Kelly. Disturbing videos have surfaced with Andrea seeming to be in support of R. Kelly just prior to the production of this documentary. So is Andrea Kelly a victim, a hypocrite, or both? You be the judge.
I don't give no fuck what you think about him personally, because we're not talking about that. But what we are talking about, him as a writer, performer, artist, producer, people that he has brought their careers back to life. We talking about from the eyes, he's revamping, bringing back Mr. Biggs and Charlie Wilson, like we gonna be Uncle Charlie, and working on that album from Kelly Price to Michael Jackson, Madonna, Whitney Houston, Toni Braxton. The list goes on and on and on. The man is undeniable. But at the end of the day, he had to do all of that with that dark cloud. But what kept him focused and kept him going is, I have to do this for my children to make sure that they are okay. Because he could have just went under a rock and hid and shit been in shambles and we be the fuck everywhere. But that didn't happen. So at the end of the day, I love him for that. I will always respect him for that. And he did it with grace in the height of the storm. It wasn't no shit like he went and hid off somewhere and then came back. He kept.
So prior to the video that you just saw, another video came across my desk a couple days ago of Andrea Kelly in the car with a friend going out to a party or leaving a party. She seemed to be a little tipsy and she was singing R. Kelly's Happy People. Now in that video, she's just having a good old time and she's talking back to fans as they're live chatting her while she's doing this live. And during this live, she goes on this diatribe about how y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about R. Kelly, but I'm the only one who can talk about him. That's my baby daddy, at least one of my baby daddies. And it's just like, you know, your family. You can say stuff about him, but let somebody else say something about him. You gonna go off on them, this, that, and the third. And to be quite honest, it took me aback when I first saw that. But you know what? In that moment, I said, you know, I'm going to grant Andrea Kelly the same leniency we granted R. Kelly when we found out he married Aaliyah, he did this, he peed on the girl, he had all these settled lawsuits. I honestly discounted it as, you know, she just feeling good and she just listening to the music. And don't get me wrong, yeah, he did do XYZ, but the music is good. That compartmentalizing of negative behaviors that we seem to do within the community, at least at that time, that was my feeling. Now, after watching the documentary coupled with the first video that I shared with you guys, I got a problem. Andrea Kelly, I severely have a problem with you because videos like this are problematic and they undermine the integrity of the Surviving R. Kelly documentary. What's her name? Dream Hampton did an, whatever word is above excellent, a superb job putting this documentary together. I have never seen a more thorough, well put together documentary on a living person. And you've already got critics out there who are looking for a reason to discredit this documentary, to further support R. Kelly and his music, and to make all these women in this documentary out to be liars. You already see Aaliyah's mother is posting comments that are contrary to what we all believe based on what Javante said on this documentary. You've got entertainers who are still supporting him, and you still got a large part of the black community who are still compartmentalizing his negative behavior and finding a way to still support this man. This doesn't make it any better. Videos like this, Andrea Kelly, make all the R. Kelly apologists say, see, I told you they was lying. I told you they was lying. How is it that he was doing all this to her and she's still singing his music? And you know what, Andrea, to their credit, they're absolutely right. I've got a question for you. I need you to answer this. If this man did all these things to you, locked you away in the attic like Anne Frank, wouldn't feed you, deprived you from socialization with people out in the general public, locked you away, almost caused you to lose your child, made you do nasty things in the bedroom, cheated on you up and down the street. You participated in this documentary and probably found out things that you didn't even know were going on during your marriage. Then how is it possible that the sound of his voice does not repulse you and send you into some post-traumatic syndrome fit? It would seem to me that every time you heard that creepy ass voice that you would run somewhere in a corner and hide, but you singing and celebrating the music genius that is a part of this music monster says to a lot of people that you ain't as traumatized as you said you is. And I hate the fact, because one bad apple, quite frankly, can spoil it for the bunch. And the fact that you were such an integral part of this documentary, and for these videos to be surfacing of you seemingly not being as distraught and tore up as you say you is, you got some splaining to do. You know, something else I want to touch on really quickly on this whole Andrea victim, hypocrite, or both. I take exception with a lot of black people and some celebrities who have gone on social media platforms and have now said, well, if they made a surviving R. Kelly documentary, where is the surviving Roman Polanski, Woody Allen, Harvey Weinstein, and all of these other people? And here is what I have to say to that. I don't know the cultural makeup of the girls that those guys were molesting and taking advantage of. I am willing to bet that the overwhelming majority of them were not black. That being said, I don't give a shit where the Woody Allen, the Harvey Weinstein, and the Roman Polanski documentaries are. Let white people deal with their white demons, okay? The fact that you even find it necessary to make this white comparison a priority over the African American lives that have been destroyed by this man is problematic, and you honestly need to reevaluate your stance. Black people as a whole, we have got to move away from this whole our lives, our stories, our situations, and our struggles have no brevity unless they're in relation to white people. You see what I'm saying? Because in short, that's what's going on. I'll begin to care about R. Kelly and what's going on with him when y'all make a Woody Allen documentary. I'll begin to care about R. Kelly and get outraged over R. Kelly when y'all make a Harvey Weinstein. Why is it that white folks in all aspects of our lives, be it positive or negative, have to provide some sort of validation before we care about what is going on within the confines of our own community? I'm sorry. I prioritize a black man abusing black women above the public litany and lynching of a black man versus a white man. Like I said earlier, and Amanda Seales said it best, white men been pillaging and destroying this goddamn country since its inception. That is what they do. Let white folks handle their own demons, and let's take care of what we got to take care of in-house. Secondly, you know, I'm still seeing on social media people who are saying, well, you know what, I mean, somebody said to me, Dineva, you know, stopping listening to the music may be your way of demonstrating your outrage, but you can't tell everybody else what to do. And some people are able to separate the music from the man, and they may enjoy the music and can compartmentalize, and you can't judge them for that. You're absolutely right. I can't judge anybody for anything, but I also want to speak to the fact that once again, this is how monsters like R. Kelly, Eddie Long, and many others are created. This compartmentalization of negative behavior in an effort to maintain the part of this person who benefits you. The truth of the matter is, it ain't that I can't tell people how to feel. It's you don't want to let go of the music despite of all the negative things that this man has done, because you have prioritized your pleasure from his music over the lives of these black girls. And that's all to it. But back to the subject at hand. Andrea Kelly, victim, hypocrite, or both? Y'all be the judge. Here's the thing. Andrea Kelly really needs to pull an Olivia Pope move at this time, and she needs to address these videos. I told y'all in my next life I'm going to be a crisis manager. I am pretty sure now that people are on this mission to discredit this documentary and the women in it, that R. Kelly and his team have hired people to dig. People on social media are going to dig, and they are going to find every post, meme, video, picture, and tweet that supports the narrative of ain't nothing wrong with you and you a liar and you just money hungry, Andrea Kelly. So what you're going to need to do in this moment is get ahead of it. You are going to need to address the 2 videos that are floating around and any subsequent videos that may surface with you seeming to be happy uttering the words R. Kelly and singing aloud the lyrics to his songs. Excuse me. What you need to say, Andrea Kelly, is something along the lines of, you know, dearest world, I see how it appears that me singing the songs of R. Kelly can undermine such a monumental documentary. And while I've, participated in this documentary, at the time in which I was singing these songs, I really was not completely healed my own self, nor did I understand how I was compartmentalizing this man's negative behavior and holding on to the good times. Because we did have some good times in our marriage, and is hard for me to separate the good things that this man has done for his family. While he has been a monster, I can't take away the fact that these very songs that I'm now being questioned about singing have provided food on the table for my kids and for my family. And for that, I apologize for not being thorough enough in my thinking and conscious enough of my own pain to be able to separate the two. Something along those lines. I know I butchered it, but once I write it down, I would be able to fine tune it. DM me, call Candy and get my number, and I will help you with it, or go and hire you a PR or a crisis management firm. But you need to clean this up ASAP, Andrea Kelly, while people are still interested in this documentary, while it is still riding high, and while there is still time to salvage the 100% integrity of what it is that is going on and what this documentary and the movement is trying to accomplish. That being said, the question on the table, Andrea Kelly, victim, hypocrite, or both? Y'all be the judge. If you like this type of content, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, and I will call y'all later. Bye.